The carnival is gone. The Rootheart sleeps. But New Orleans still dreams, and dreams never stay quiet for long. Welcome to Tongue of the Serpent, a Southern Gothic horror podcast where every ending leaves an echo, and every echo wants to be remembered. Tonight's story is The Reckoning. The crew of the Morning Star has survived the carnival, but survival isn't peace. Evelyn, Lucien, Mercy, and Renard must face what the Rootheart left behind. The debts unpaid, the ghosts unburied, and the truth that the world itself has been rewritten by their choices. The house remembers, the mirror waits, and something just knocked at the door. The Reckoning. Broken things still beat. The attic of the crew of the Morning Star was still, too still. Sunlight crept across the dusty floorboards in slanted gold bars, pooling around a cracked ritual bowl where Lucien Devereaux sat cross-legged. His coat was folded neatly beside him, his shirt sleeves rolled up to the elbows. He had drawn a thin line across his palm with a ceremonial blade, and his blood now threaded through salt and myrrh, forming trembling glyphs along the bowl's rim. Across the room, Sister Mercy paced like a tethered storm cloud, her boots echoing sharp against the wood. Evelyn didn't move. She sat with her back to the mirror, shoulders hunched, hands clenched tight around a crumpled scrap of paper. The carnival ticket bearing Renard's name. It was fading, then returning, then fading again. "He's not dead," she whispered. "He's not." Lucien didn't look up. His voice was quiet, but final.
"It didn't destroy the Rootheart. Just stalled it."
Mercy stopped in her tracks.
"Then what did Renard die for?"
Her voice cracked on the word die, as if saying it out loud might give it permanence. But Evelyn's gaze sharpened. She tilted her head slightly, like a bird catching a breeze, too subtle for the rest of the world to feel. "Do you hear that?" Lucien frowned. Mercy turned toward the stairwell. Silence. And then, soft as a child's breath, the distant wheeze of a calliope. Not loud, not clear, but present, like something seeping in beneath the floorboards.
"No."
Mercy said.
No. It's gone."
But Evelyn stood, slow and shaking. The ticket in her hand had stopped flickering. It was solid now, heavy. "The carnival isn't a place," she murmured. "It's a hunger. The Rootheart fed on us, on our regrets, our shame, our grief. It liked what it tasted." Lucien rose, wiping his bloody palm against a cloth.
"We didn't end it. We nourished it."
Mercy's hand clenched into fists.
"So what, we go back in and let it finish the job?"
"No," Evelyn said, eyes locked on the mirror's dulled surface. "We end it right." Lucien hesitated.
"We could just stay. Let it rot on its own."
But Mercy shook her head.
"We owe him."
Evelyn didn't speak again. She stepped forward and placed the red ticket, Renard's name glowing faintly, against the mirror. The glass shuddered, and then parted. Not into the twisted midway, not into fire and tent flaps, but into a vast black stage lit by a single flickering spotlight. Curtains of shadow swayed in some invisible wind. Without a word, Evelyn stepped through. Lucien followed, teeth clenched. Then Mercy, muttering a prayer to a god she no longer trusted. The attic was silent once more. but in the bowl of salt and blood, the glyphs pulsed faintly, like the heartbeat of something that should not still be alive. The prince in tatters. The midway was unrecognizable. Where once it shimmered with sickly splendor, now it slouched toward ruin, tents sagging like deflated lungs, carousel horses splintered and hollow-eyed, cotton candy stalls draped in cobwebs instead of sugar, and above it all, suspended like a chandelier made of nerves and roots and something wetter, the Rootheart. Its tendrils hung low now, weeping sap that smoked when it touched the ground. It pulsed to a rhythm, not quite alive, not quite dead. They walked in silence through the debris. The wooden boards of the midway creaked beneath their feet, echoing like bones. Then ahead, center stage, beneath the broken Ferris wheel, sat Lucifer. His throne was a pile of discarded masks, porcelain and papier-mâché, cracked and grinning, stained with carnival colors and tears. His once impeccable ringmaster coat was torn, trailing ribbons like bloodied streamers. His eyes, usually so clever, so bright, had gone hollow, not sad, not furious, empty. And when they approached, he smiled, a smile made for theaters, not mouths.
Final performance.
He drawled.
I saved you front row seats.
Lucian stepped forward, fury radiating from him like a storm about to break.
Why?
He asked, voice low.
Why all this? Why turn our pain into a circus? Why feed it to a tree?
Lucifer stood slowly, one hand brushing aside a broken mask with something almost like tenderness.
Because she loved you more.
He didn't need to name her. They all knew. Lilith and Evelyn. Lucifer's voice changed from theater velvet to something raw and hoarse. A confession, perhaps, or an accusation wrapped in mourning.
I found the Rootheart sleeping.
He said.
It reeked of you, Evelyn, of Lilith, a seed buried in the marrow of the world, a god just waiting to be born.
He stepped down from the throne, dust swirling around his boots.
I thought I could raise it, shape it, make it something new. A child of sorrow, yes, but mine. Something that would never leave, something that would need me.
He looked directly at Evelyn.
But it didn't want me, it wanted you.
Evelyn's fingers tightened around the folds of her dress, but she didn't look away.
I fed it your memories, your heartbreak, your image. I gave it the sound of your name. I kept it awake, kept it growing.
The Rootheart above them pulsed in response. It opened slightly, like an eye. Lucifer tilted his head, bitter and beautiful.
It bloomed, monstrous, glorious, and hungry.
He laughed once, short and broken.
You were her first love.
He said.
I was the second. I always will be.
Evelyn stepped forward then, not with fire, not with scorn, but with something gentler, wiser. You're not a villain, Lucifer, she said. You're a child who thought a goddess could be your mother. He froze. The silence was systemic. Then Lucifer screamed, high and full of ruin. The earth trembled. The mask throne exploded outward, shards of painted grief flying like shrapnel. The Rootheart groaned above, vines dropping like nooses, roots bursting through the soil. The midway began to split. The sky cracked like stained glass. And then a wind rose. Red light spilled across the ruins, peeling away illusion like dead skin. The calliope fell silent, every tent stilled. And in that breathless moment, barefoot, crowned in thorns and roses, eyes full of stars, Lilith arrived. The goddess descends. The funhouse cracked down the middle with the sound of shattering laughter. A ripple passed through the world, a heartbeat in reverse. Mirrors melted, painted clowns wept rust. The floors folded in on themselves like collapsing paper. The grinning mouths of the tents opened wide in silent screams, their illusions dissolving into dust and bone. And then the red light came. Not the garish glow of carnival bulbs, but something ancient, a blinding, pulsing crimson that washed over the shattered midway like blood over snow. It did not burn. It did not blind. It revealed. The Rootheart reared back, exposed, its carnival skin sloughing off in strips of glitter and rot. Beneath, thick, gnarled roots pulsing with stolen memory, veins of grief, a trunk made of long-forgotten names and unfinished songs. And at its core, a heart, beating loud and slow and wet, a heart built from sorrow. And then she arrived. Lilith, not in thunder, not in flame, but barefoot, crowned in thorns woven with roses, thorns that did not cut her, roses that did not wilt. Her dress was simple, the color of grave moss and river clay. Her eyes shimmered, black holes laced with stars. She carried no weapon. Her only armor was grief. The air bowed around her. Even the Rootheart paused. She walked past the splintered mask throne, past the scattered memories, the painted lies, the bones of the midway. She stopped in front of Lucifer. He dropped to his knees, like a child who had finally broken the last thing he loves. Lilith looked at him, not with rage, but with the terrible weight of knowing.
I gave you love,
She said softly. Her voice was reeds in wind, silk in storm.
and you built a cage.
Lucifer's voice was jagged.
I didn't mean to. I just wanted something that wouldn't leave. Something that would need me. That would stay.
His hands trembled, fingers curled like claws around nothing. Lilith knelt, touched his cheek, brushed away the soot and the salt of his tears.
Then you should have planted a tree, not a god.
She whispered. The Rootheart screamed. The ground split. Roots erupted like serpents. Memory and rot and longing surged up from the soil. Lucian drew Mercy close. Evelyn shielded her eyes. Lucifer turned away as if the thing he'd nurtured had finally shown its teeth. Lilith stood. Her voice rang like bells in fog.
This thing is not alive. It is not divine. It is a wound you've kept open, a hunger that never ends. It was born from stolen grief. That means it can die by chosen release.
She turned to the others, and with that the air changed. The Rootheart pulsed. The carnival moaned. The price was clear. Not a memory, not a fear, a truth. A truth hidden so deeply it had rooted itself inside the soul. Mercy stepped forward first. Her hands shook, but her spine was straight.
I left the veil open. I knew better. I broke faith. I let them through, and I tried to forget. I tried to rewrite the story, but Lenore never left. She's in every shadow I pass, every prayer I can't finish. I loved her and I lost her. I forgot because the grief was more than I could bear.
She opened her fist, and her palm, a single blackened thread, singed with holy fire. She dropped it into the roots. The root heart shivered. Lucian was next, silent at first, then.
I didn't protect them.
He said,
Sabine, she died and I bricked off my heart. Annalise, they bargained her away in a deal. I told myself I would never love or feel again. Made the bargain to create a mask of what I thought was a better, stronger version of me.
He reached into his coat, his curator's ring, bronze, worn, inscribed with the old sigil. He let it fall. The root heart groaned, splinters curling inward. Evelyn stood last. She looked at Lilith, then at Lucifer, then at the root heart, the terrible thing she had once buried and left to sleep. Her voice was quiet, tired, honest. I wanted to be someone's story, she said, so I let them write me into theirs. Adam, the garden, the books, the prayers, even you. She held the red ticket, the one that bore Renard's name. It was almost blank now. She kissed it. I forgot how to write my own. She pressed the ticket to the root heart's bark. The tree howled. Its branches curled like fists. The ground bled light. The memories it had stolen, twisted and devoured, began to leak out like mist. Lucifer lunged, sobbing.
No, you don't understand. If it dies, I have nothing. I built this for you. I made this for...
Lilith raised her hand, and he froze. She did not smite him. She looked at him and broke his heart one last time.
You broke and twisted the root heart to make her stay,
she said.
That is not love. That is fear.
Then she turned to the root heart and sang. It was not a hymn, not a lullaby. It was older than either, a song of endings, of mercy, of silence. The root heart folded like a flower at dusk. Its branches curled inward, its roots dissolved into smoke, and then darkness, true and whole, not frightening, not empty, just still. Renard's return. The world reknits itself slowly, as if unsure it wants to exist again. The air is thick with static, the taste of endings still bitter on the tongue. Then light, thin and gray, filtering through slatted attic windows, familiar and unfamiliar all at once. Dust motes swirl like ash and amber. Lucian is the first to move. He draws in a long breath, like someone surfacing from the bottom of a dream. His hands twitch, reaching for something that isn't there. The weight of a ring, the edge of a memory, the soft pull of responsibility. Evelyn kneels beside the mirror. It is whole, untouched. The glass does not ripple. It only reflects. She places her hand flat against it. No warmth, no hum, no root heart. Just her. Just now. Mercy lets out a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. For a moment she looks younger, not because time has turned back, but because she has set something down, a burden, a thread. They are home. The crew of the Morning Star breathes with them. No carnival, no music, no mask-laced lies until 3 sets of eyes meet. The kind of silence that falls before a storm, before a confession, before a name comes back from the dead. Down the stairs they go, The shop floor is bathed in soft gold. Morning is blooming. The warded shelves stand silent and obedient. The cash register blinks 0000. A raven feather has fallen across the open ledger. Another knock. Lucian reaches the door first. When he opens it, he doesn't speak. No one does. There he stands. Renard. Dark, wild black curls, wind-tossed and sun-caught. His shirt half-buttoned, boots muddy, one sleeve torn, like he's wrestled time itself and only half won. A fox tattoo peeks from just under his collarbone. The ink faded slightly, as if time tried to erase him, and failed. He leans against the doorframe like a man trying to remember if he belongs.
Hey,
He says. Lucian doesn't say anything. He just steps forward and pulls him into an embrace so sudden, so solid, that even Renard wobbles. Mercy sniffles and immediately scowls about it, wiping her eyes with the sleeve of her robe. Evelyn smiles, not wide, not triumphant, just real. You came back, she says. Renard shrugs.
I always was good at encores.
He doesn't remember everything, just fragments. A knife flashing in stage light, a red curtain that bled, the sound of his own voice saying yes when he should have run. He remembers falling through mirrors. He remembers the scream, a long, unbroken howl made of everything he never said. And then, waking up in the woods behind Madame Claudette's parlor, the scent of wax and ash still clinging to his skin. He'd wandered until the shop called to him, as it always did. He didn't ask what happened, and they didn't ask why he looks a little older. Why his eyes are fox-sharp now, even when he's smiling. Some things the crew learns not to question. Some ghosts return wearing skin. The new season begins. Night comes gently to the French Quarter, not with fanfare, not with omen, but with the softness of old lullabies and the hush of stories ending. The crew of the Morning Star is quiet. The mirror stands dormant. The shop below sighs in its sleep. On the rooftop, beneath a bowl of stars, 4 souls sit shoulder to shoulder, legs dangling over the wrought iron edge. They don't speak at first. There's a sacredness to silence, after all, especially the kind earned by survival. Lilith is gone, not vanished, just elsewhere, as gods often are. Lucifer has disappeared, his velvet shadows scattered like old confetti, and the Rootheart, sleeping. Not dead, never dead, just cradled in stillness. Lucian sips from a chipped mug of tea, the steam curling into the cold. His coat is patched with dried blood, and there's a new wariness in his spine, but his eyes are clear, brighter than they've been in years. Renard lies flat on the rooftop, hands folded beneath his head, gazing up like the stars might blink back. Mercy has wrapped herself in a shawl, stitched with tiny protective sigils. Her boots tap out a rhythm against the stone, soft but deliberate. She is not pacing, not tonight. Evelyn holds the now blank ticket in her lap. No name, no ink, just paper and weight. It's Evelyn who breaks the silence. Maybe the Rootheart was the part of the world that can't move on, she says. The place where every what if waits. Every unshed tear, every closed door someone still stands behind. Lucian hums in agreement.
And maybe we're the ones who have to keep it asleep. Dream wardens. Memory shepherds. Poor bastard who said yes when the veil cracked.
Mercy smirks.
Good.
She says,
I always wanted to be a dream catcher.
Renard raises one hand toward the sky, fingers pinching invisible string.
Or a scarecrow
He offers.
to frighten away regrets. Or crows, whichever's worse.
They laugh, a small, honest sound, like something that forgot how to exist but found its way back. But the moment fractures when Mercy turns serious.
Lenore's voice was there,
She says quietly.
in the carnival, in the strings, calling.
The others fall still. No jokes now, no comfort. Just the truth, pressed like a bruise. Something isn't finished. Something waits. But for now, they are whole. For now, they are safe. The carnivals echo. Somewhere far from New Orleans, beyond the edge of any map the crew might keep. A field, empty, still. No tents, no lights, only wind whispering through wildflowers. And then a laugh. High, bright, a child's laugh, followed by the faintest sound of carousel music, distant as if a half-remembered lullaby. A single red ticket flutters through the tall grass, spun by unseen hands. It lands softly in the palm of a little girl no older than 10. She blinks, turns the ticket over. No words, just a faint glimmer, as if something old and hungry had taken notice. She looks up, smiles, and begins to walk toward the sound. Each step presses a faint trail into the grass, and behind her, the air begins to shimmer. The world holds its breath, and then the Rootheart sleeps. The carnival is ash, but the crew of the Morning Star is still here, drinking tea beneath the stars, laughing softly at things that used to make them weep. Lucien has laid down his armor. Evelyn has found her own reflection. Mercy dreams without fear. And Renard always did have a way of coming back. But far from New Orleans, a single red ticket flutters through a field of wildflowers. And somewhere, a child starts to hum. Because stories never end. They just wait for someone new to find them. You've been listening to Tongue of the Serpent, written and created by Loveday Funk. Wilson Revelle voices Lucien Devereaux and Lucifer Morningstar. Miranda Funk voices Sister Mercy and the goddess Lilith. And Jared Savoy voices Renard Blackwood. Thank you for walking with us through Season 2. Share the tale, so when the carnival comes again, it will know your name.